walking the path of the unknown, entering into the sacred heart, the temple of the womb.
Walk the spiral path. Walk the spiral path.
What's up, guys? This is a live music duo, and we're here to talk about track number 3.
Abre Camino.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and that translates to open the roads or open the path. And there are so many layered components within this transmission, so we wanted to really break down the elements and share with you a deeper insight of wisdom so that when you're also chanting this, you feel affirmed in what you're saying and knowing and trusting that the spiral path will guide you back to God, back to your heart.
Right on. Yeah, so starting with the vocals of this track, it's quite layered, which was really fun to produce and listen to many, many times.
Yeah.
But for the first, I believe this is the first line you sang.
Walk the spiral path.
Walking the spiral path for me is walking the path of devotion and walking the path to enlightenment. This is in parallel to walking a labyrinth, walking the path of the unknown, entering into the sacred heart, the temple of the womb, and also the unalome. The unalome is on my third eye, and I adorn myself with this sacred emblem as a representation of the embodiment of the path of enlightenment. And so that's why I then also layered unalome, 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 because it is the Buddhist tradition. The unalome is that path of enlightenment. And so as I'm also saying that, I'm guiding myself through love. I'm walking in that faith of love. And so I layered underneath that ngoi ngoi ne, which in Cantonese translates to I love you. And that feels like my ancestors hugging me and holding me and supporting me on this path of devotion.
And that's what this sounds like. For that, it looks like we just put a nice reverb to give it an expansive feel.
Yeah.
Which is very nice. And this layer. Sounds like a lullaby almost. It's so sweet.
It is a lullaby.
And
then under that, I have a stronger and more discerning chant, which is Lelolai, and I'm utilizing that deeper register, that diaphragmic register, to emphasize the vocal toning vowels that are within Lelolai. And Lelolai is native to Puerto Rico, and it just translates to la la la, and it's a way to embody movement, to bring in a sense of play and walking on the fool's journey. And so with Le, we are activating our third eye. We got that E or E, and then we also have Lo, O is in our solar plexus, and then La, we have that in our heart chakra, which is A. And so just really emphasizing this is a mind, body, and spirit connection alongside the Sanskrit saying bodhicitta, which is mind, heart, and connecting that full body presence when we are entering into the state of the unknown.
Wow, super cool. All that within 30 seconds. of the track.
Yeah.
It's quite a lot and beautiful. And this is what it all sounds together.
Walk the spiral path. 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 Walk the spiral path.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this is the instrumental breakdown. The first thing I love to do is turn on the click track. That to me tells me everything. As a rhythm player, I live by tempo. That is my heartbeat. And I have to remain consistent with that. I have to obey that. A lot of musicians despise tempo and the click track because it's so rigid, it's so structured, it's not associated with freedom at all. It's like, that's the beat, and you have to land on the beat every single time. Which makes sense, you know, because music is a purely beautiful art form that shouldn't be bounded by rules. But simultaneously, we're talking about time. And time is bound by rules, right? We got 60 minutes, we got hours, we got seconds. This is all locked into a grid. So I pretty much love that concept. And I really enjoy that when I play music. I love locking myself to a grid because I know I can get myself out of that lock, but also come in. So with Ableton, it's typically, and pretty much all DAWs are start their projects at 120 BPMs. And it's a nice tempo. 120 BPMs is associated with techno music, house music, a lot of pop music. A lot of our pop songs are at 120 BPMs, believe it or not, which is really funny because it feels so good. So, and this too just felt 120 BPMs feels good.
Mm-hmm.
So, starting with 120 BPMs, and I feel like you had recorded a lot of the longer notes that you were doing at 120 BPMs, but with the less subdivisions. So it wasn't tick, 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 it was more like tick,
Mm-hmm.
tick, to help you reach that length of time. Because I remember vividly when we would sing those long phrases, I was on the side.
He was counting me in.
Counting you through that
because
16-second
vocal toning
phrase.
in that, and counting, and also thinking spiritually, I am in so many places at once, and so I felt like having that sign instead of hearing the tick, 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 and just feel, that helped me a lot. So he's behind the scenes mathematically and meticulously locking everything in, and I get to just feel.
Yeah,
it
it's
feels
so
good.
beautiful, yeah.
Yeah.
I love it, yeah. So the tone that we chose, 528, the love frequency, and it felt so natural.
So I'm really grateful that we were able to work with these pure tones and embed them into every single transmission so that there is a foundation of serenity, of healing and grounding throughout it all, or activating. It's such a vast musical experience and cellular experience as well.
It's the most consistent element, the drone, that is encompassing all of it. And this is what this frequency sounds like. I love a pure tone.
Me too.
And our after that, I would say the first thing that came online was that metronome and a basic 4x4 kick drum, which was this right here. Actually, I was quite fascinated by claps. To first be heard right here, and then right here, sonically.
Mm-hmm.
So I spent some time playing around with the panning and the EQing of the claps. It was so amazingly fun. But this track doesn't have a typical snare backbeat. It was primarily the claps and the kick drum that really drove the track along. And this is the kick drum with those claps together and pure tone. And the kick drum has a little saturation on it, and this is there just to help it stick out a bit, because without any effects on the kick drum, it'll get buried.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times when it does get buried, we tend to throw an EQ on it and raise the volume.
Mm-hmm.
And that, at the end of the day, ends up distorting, because then you're going to hear it on another system, another playback system, and then the kick drum is just going to be like just out of control because we raised it so much.
Yeah.
So harmonic distortion, saturation, gives it color, so it kind of like can peer through the frequency spectrum, which is a really cool effect I love to do. And then building on those two simple elements of a kick drum and some claps, I just had a field day with percussion, because I'm a percussion guy. And
You're everything.
I sourced, yeah. For this one, I sourced some really cool percussive elements. This is what that sounds like. Nice little muffled kick drum. Nice little plasticky bucket sound. A nice thud. Oh, ooh, that's like
It's like someone like banging on the door.
yeah, this one's a pretty dirty kick drum right there. So like,
This one's soft.
yeah, my little like hi-hat brush. My nice little polite slap. And with those elements, I dialed in MIDI and came up with this little pattern to go along with those two.
And as he's doing all this stuff, I'm dancing
Yeah.
around the place.
Yeah.
Like, yes, baby, that sounds great.
Yeah. This really had me bopping so hard when I first did it on the headphones, because I just felt it. And then the vocals too, just like, I just felt my heart center like really like expand. So like all the energy sits right there.
Yeah.
And I was very adamant as well to not make it too bass heavy. Even with the kick drum, like I also spent some time removing a lot of the lower end frequencies. And then with those percussive elements, I continued to add more little side nuggets. And this is the build out of all of these elements. Just adding different flavorful elements.
Yeah. So I needed that.
And those are basically reverse crashes, which I love to incorporate in productions because it gives it such a transitory kind of feeling to the track. Like it's, all right,
Next.
what's next? And for this track, what was next were some electric keyboards.
I love this. I personally had multiple times of singing this because I wanted it to feel as devotional, as true, and as open-hearted as possible when I was singing to Mother Mary. And so as I was playing with the melodies, I wrote down the lyrics first, and I had that in English, translated it to Spanish, and Mother Mary is also on the block that we are residing in right now. And so just channeling her vibration, her frequency, as if she was right here, embodied within me as well.
Madre Maria, mi corazón arde por ti. Amor, sabiduría y poder, la llama triple. El dulce aroma de tu jardín de rosa. Camino el sendero en spiral, 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 spiral. Hacia tu corazón radiante. Madre María, abre camino.
And yeah, so I did that multiple takes. In the making of Birthright, I shared that take in that documentary.
Madre María, abre camino. Madre Camino, Abre Maria.
And it felt so fluid. I love all the elements that are incorporated into the track. Having multiple instruments panning from ear to ear, it also helps me to accentuate my vocal toning and move my voice throughout all of those elements and find a way to either syncopate or to extend and allow my voice to dance as well. And so I am saying, Madre María, mi corazón arde por ti, amor, sabiduría y poder. And that translates to Mother Mary, my heart burns for you. Love, wisdom, power, threefold flame. And so I'm visualizing this flame in her heart, which is also divinely connected to her child, to all of her creations, and calling forth the threefold flame of love, wisdom, and power, which is a term from the Summit Lighthouse, which was brought about by Elizabeth and Mark Prophet.
A spark of fire from the Creator's own heart, which is called the threefold flame of life. There it burns as the triune essence of love, wisdom, and power. Each acknowledgement paid daily to the flame within your heart will amplify the power and illumination of love within your being. Each such attention will produce a new sense of dimension for you, if not outwardly apparent, then subconsciously manifest within the folds of your inner thoughts. Neglect not then your heart as the altar of God. Neglect it not as the sun of your manifest being. Draw from God the power of love and amplify it within your heart. Then send it out into the world at large as the bulwark of that which shall overcome the darkness of the planet, saying, I am the light of the heart, shining in the darkness of being, and changing all into the golden treasury of the mind of Christ. I am projecting my love out into the world to erase all errors and to break down all barriers. I am the power of infinite love, amplifying itself until it is victorious, world without end. With this gift of infinite freedom from God's own heart.
Wow. Yeah, there's so much in that. Keyboards, electric piano, really is what felt right while making this track. And this is what it all sounds like together, starting with what you just recited.
Madre Maria, mi corazón arde por ti. Amor, sabiduría y poder, la llama triple. El dulce aroma de tu jardín de rosa.
Now I'm saying that her rose garden smells so good, and I walk the spiral path.
Hacia tu corazón radiante, Madre María, abre camino. Madre camino, abre María, flor de vida, flor de vida, flor de vida, tú eres mi querida. Mother Mary, my heart burns for you. Love, wisdom, power, threefold flame.
Mother Mary, she is known as the divine feminine priestess who is devoted to rose lineage and rose wisdom. And so as I am smelling the flowers and also with the spiral of the rose unfurling, this is a reminder that this is also within me. That sacred rose, that sacred temple is in my heart. And so I exclaimed to her that I walk the spiral path into her radiant heart. And when I say her, I'm talking about this divine feminine presence, and this is within every being. We all have the power to connect to our divine feminine wisdom. And once we do activate that part of ourselves and open our hearts to all that is, we fully enter into Jesus. And then I am speaking in Hebrew. And so underneath all of the Spanish, you hear me singing unalom, unalom, unalom over again, and also walk the spiral path, which is something that you heard in the beginning. But this is so important because throughout that entire path, we must be reminded that this is the journey home. And Jesus is our home. We all have been reminded by his essence and by the birth of Mother Mary that the kingdom of heaven is within us, and we are reminded that it's within our hearts, that we do get to experience that faith, we do get to experience that bliss and oneness with God. And so when I'm saying Yod He Vav He, which just translates to I am that I am, And so when we activate that threefold flame of love, wisdom, and power within us, we are honoring the I am that I am. And this is that confirmation and that affirmation that He is with us. Jesus is us. He's us. And so just playing with that, because in Spanish, the J is pronounced as H. And so when I hear Jesus and I'm hearing it, or Jesus, right, it feels like He's us. It is that He is us. And so I felt it was very imperative to incorporate that. After walking that path, we're in the state of full realization and knowing that we now have the divine masculine within us. As we are walking with the intuitive faith of the feminine into the path of the unknown, we now are grounded in our masculine, grounded in our courage and our strength and our compassion to be in our truth, to be in oneness with God. And I felt it was really special to bring all of these lineages together, because the story just seamlessly blended in and they're all connected. And it just felt really good in my heart to sing that and share that. And I also wanted to bring up that Mother Mary is not just Jesus's mother. Mother Mary is the essence of Mother Mary. The word Mary can also be translated as Isis, as Fatima, as Kali Ma, as Durga, as so many other beings of light, and that walk in the faith of divine feminine truth and embodiment of these light codes. And so this is also able to be activated within us. And so in a way, Mary is us, and I'm singing to her and she is me, and that continuous flow of the spiral path, which whatever we send out comes back to us. And when we internalize that, that is when we get to illuminate and radiate that divine wisdom and love and power. Side of your ear, and underneath that I'm chanting un alone, and you're still on that spiral path, but the song ends with another reverse crash cymbal, so it's another initiation.
So the track has 3 sections primarily, and to initiate the second section we used the riser, the reverse crash, which we heard earlier. And in this section nothing pretty much changes except the percussive elements, where we add conga drums and the clave. That adding all in of itself a immense rhythmic motion, because in Spanish clave is key and everything revolves around this key. And this is what this section sounds like. Also, leading up to this section, all these little tidbits throughout that section was like a little teaser of what was coming up, which was this. Which in Spanish is called a montuno guajero, which is basically an ostinato pattern that's repeated. And that can be repeated with a guitar, a piano, drums, the voice. So it's really, really beautiful element used in Afro-Caribbean music. And together. That's what this section sounds like.
Flor de vida, flor de vida, flor de vida.
Initiating that.
Eres mi
That's me saying, you are my darling.
Mother Mary, my heart burns for you. Love, wisdom, power, threefold flame.
I'd love to hear the conga part because we actually thought about this so many times. Should it come in the trills before or on or after threefold flame? And
Yeah, most definitely. Just by listening to things several times, it like clarity appears, right? So probably the first run through, just played right through everything, but then upon hearing it again, one thing that I primarily listen to as a musician are breaks, and this track has those elements as well, just to like vary it up a bit, not make it so routine. So when you said threefold flames, you added a break in there, which was very nice. If you're gonna break, the whole instrument is going to break as well. But for this part, it was like, let's play around with it.
yeah.
So we played around with so many different variations, so many different styles, the numbers of times you said it, we could have played it with that. In this particular way, the way it came out,
Love, wisdom, power, threefold flame.
right? And those are just some fills and riffs to play around with the vocals. And here we have some drop out as well. I let the percussive elements also drop out. And this was primarily the main drop out section of the track. And this other section, which was the riser of the crash, just letting some elements go so the instrumental track can breathe a bit as well is also very nice and important. The other element that was also included was the cowbell. Cowbell being another prominent instrument in Afro-Caribbean music. It's utilized as primarily a timekeeper as well, to go along with the clave. And there it is. Putting the congas. The song is coming to a conclusion. So the congas drop out. Lots of the percussive elements that I had incorporated drop out as well. I also removed a lot of the elements of the MIDI data, and I switched some of the notes out just to give some variety. And yet still the percussion felt full.
That last moment, you get to embody I am, that I am, and it's panning all around you. And so you have both ears confirming, I am, the other one, that I am, that I am, and it just continuously spiraling. And so even when we do enter into the heart of God and that sacred path, it is forever in eternity spiraling and creating new, and it's felt through that song. It's really special.
Indeed it is. I hope you guys got quite wisdomful as much as we have exploring the breakdown of this track. Make sure to listen to the full track and the full music video on YouTube and Bandcamp.
Thank you so much for supporting us. And there's so much sacred wisdom that has been embedded in all of these transmissions, and we felt that it was imperative to share that with you and to share the instrumental and the sacred words that we are creating through this and co-creating with God for us to receive back. And after listening to the track many times for this video and feeling all of the elements, I feel at sacred peace and at oneness. And we also have a sacred scripture that is coming out titled Birthright for Ayurvedic universal mysticism. And this is focusing on Om, the divine seed and sound of the universe. And this also translates to life, wisdom, one truth. And our mission with Birthright is to embody all the beautiful, diverse cultures and lineages and languages of the universe and what makes us whole. And I trust that you will feel that and you will awaken to that on your spiritual journey wherever you are. This scripture is going to assist in listening to the project, in activating alongside the project, and guiding you into deeper insight of what each wisdomful word and activation translates to, so that you will be able to fully embody the divine sovereign self that you are as we are co-creating this beautiful heaven on earth together. And so thank you. I'm in such deep gratitude for your attentiveness and your yearning to embody your highest, best self alongside us. Many blessings to you. Namaste.